From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a PrimeWave Media production.
What's up, world? It is the one and only Pop DBIC, the Primetime Capper, and this is the Primetime Angles Live on IG, and this is the premier sports betting show. Oh boy, oh boy. Last night was pretty crazy. We don't need to get into it, but it was pretty funny that the election got called off somewhat, and they said they still got to go ahead and count votes, so we don't know who's going to be running the country in 2021. But you know what? You in control of your own destiny at the same time as well too. Don't get too caught up in the BS of what's going on. It's all fun. It's all games, bro. To be that honest with you, but hey, at the end of the day, you got me, and what I'm gonna do for you is I'm gonna build that bankroll up for you. But first, let's get into some NBA news real quick. You know I got to talk about the NBA. We got some good stuff that's been going and what I can see first up, I see Drew Holiday's on the market right now. And I'm thinking to myself, Drew Holiday is probably the catch of the summertime right now because this guy deserves to be on a winner, to be dead honest with you. And I know a lot of people are thinking, well, back to LA to come play with his hometown Lakers and things of that nature. But the Lakers are a big long shot to go ahead and get Drew Holiday. Honestly, there's not enough. The Lakers just don't have enough to get Drew Holiday at this point, unless they want to give up Kuzma or somebody of that nature. And I think that would be absolutely stupid because they could have did that last year and said, we'll do this deal if you bring in Drew Holiday. I think Drew Holiday's options will be this. This will be Drew Holiday's options. If they are to move, if Houston's moving anybody, they might want to get in this deal and maybe do a swap for a Westbrook Drew Holiday situation, or call up the Knicks and see if the Knicks want to jump in and somebody else gets a vet here in the situation, and we go from there. That could be a possible trade because I think he would be a great teammate to Harden in Houston. But we're going to talk about Harden in a moment. But Drew Holiday, I think that him making his move right now is actually pretty good. And I think, honestly, the top three teams that really do need him and do have the firepower to go ahead and get him, I would say this is going to trip you guys out. But Indiana would be a good little spot. That would be a good swap for Oladipo because they have some talent there with Miles Turner and Sabonis and things of that nature. And pretty much that would be a good spot for him to land at. Also, there's always going back to Philly as well, too. But I think that's a long shot, and Philly had their opportunity with him as well, too. They let him go. Hey, it is what it is at the end of the day. You had him. You let him go. He was an all-star with you. Hey, and you don't really, to me, you don't deserve to get him back again. That's my whole thing. And then, you know who I'm going to mention last year, and they need him, and they could give up the pieces to get him. I would give up 2 or 3 of those young players for him. I would say bring him to the Garden so he can play for the Knicks. The Knicks could build around a guy like Drew Holiday, bring in some other savvy players to come run with him, and they could make somewhat of a move right now. But I would say this. I would think that Drew Holiday will find himself on one of the better teams in the NBA, and we'll just see how it goes. But also, you can also bet on him probably being a guy that's being moved to a team that's drafted in the top 10 as well, too. So, because, New Orleans wants nothing but youth. You know that. But, New Orleans, once again, trying to deal to get picks. It is what it is. All right, so we move on, and we got Jay Harden. And James Harden is the number one agenda is the number one target for the Philadelphia 76ers. They want him badly. Daryl Morey has a great relationship with James Harden over the years. James Harden, well, as you guys know, Daryl Morey has left the Rockets and now has joined the 76ers as their president of basketball operations. So now you got James Harden, pretty much. Is this the end of the road in Houston? It might be, but I don't know if Houston wants to get rid of their top player, their top scorer, a guy that has established himself in the city. They love him in H-Town, so it's going to be tough. And I would say this, you would have to give up a lot to get James Harden. And you're not going to be able to keep Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid, so you better part ways with the one that you feel you can part ways with. And we all know who you can part ways with, and that's going to be Ben Simmons. And I think this would be a very good trade, but Philly would have to throw in a little bit more because James Harden is just that good at the end of the day. So pretty much there it is. Houston, you're on the clock right now. Will you make a deal? Will you make something happen? How are you guys going to get Harden improved past the second round? How are you guys going to get this guy to where he wants to really, really be in the NBA and where he deserves to be in the NBA? We will see. Only time will tell. All right, and last but not least, the Chicago Bulls. I only have them up here because I think the Bulls are going to be a mover and a shaker come draft night, and I think they have enough tools in place to make some big moves as well, too. Now, there is a rumor going out there that the Lakers have called about Zach LaVine, but that's a big long shot as well, too. But with the way that Chicago's building up talent and everything like that, they could figure out a way to get rid of LaVine, but LaVine would have to come with some type of value, would have to return some type of value to them as well, too. But I say like this, when you're a bad team like the Bulls, why be so greedy? You're already getting the top prospects and things of that nature. You've been wasting Zach LaVine for the last few years anyway. So why don't you go ahead, get a team-friendly, give somebody else a team-friendly deal. They take on that big contract, and they move on from there. So it is what it is at the end of the day. The Bulls had to make some big moves here, but I think that the moves are going to get made, and I honestly think that they're going to figure out a way to trade back without trading back, where they'll pick somebody and make that and save that pick for another team. I would really like to see Obi Toppin wind up on the Bulls. I think that he would be the best player for this team because he's the most polished player in the draft, and they need a polished player. They need to get away from the youth for a little bit, and I think that would be the perfect fit for him, Obi Toppin, and let's see how it goes. But it's that time. Let's go ahead and jump into the bets list. And with the bets list today, we got the over 55 West Virginia, Texas on Saturday. This is a Big 12 matchup. I do like this one a lot. As you know, the Horns hook up, and they usually go over in their games. This is going to be a tough one for them Saturday because West Virginia coming off a huge win against Kansas State. So here it is, over 55 West Virginia, Texas. The line is looking pretty good too, but the line is tempting. It's 6.5 to Texas, but I think the over is a better bet. I think that's going to be the stronger play here. Then you got Kansas and Oklahoma. And Kansas is coming in here as a 38-point dog. And you know what? It's not hard to take them in this spot as a 38-point dog. I think that they lightweight show up and they find a way to just lose by 5 touchdowns or less. So I'm taking Kansas with the plus 38. Let's see how it shakes out. Then you got Texas Tech, TCU. Texas Tech does tend to go over and does tend to give up a lot of points in the process as well too. I know it may be tough because TCU does play some pretty good defense, but I think in this one, the number is too good to pass up. So I'm taking the over 61.5 here. Texas Tech, TCU. Let's see how it shakes out. Then we got Kansas State as my dog bet of the week, and they owe me money because last week they messed up. We had them on money line last week as well too, but we were on the road last week. This week we're at home. We're going against an Oklahoma State team that's just coming off their first loss of the season, and you know K-State, they've lost 2 already, but K-State fights when they're at home as well, too. So I'm saying to you guys that it could be a strong bet on the spread as well, but I do like Kansas State to shake the apple cart and get a huge victory over Oklahoma State over in Manhattan. Kansas. All right, so there it is, K-State plus 360. And then we have the under 47.5, Baylor, Iowa State. Baylor is very inept on offense, and Iowa State is a team that chews up clock, really shortens the game, like I like to say. And pretty much this works out to me where it comes to be like a 30-7 game, something of that nature. So there it is, under 47. And that's going to under 47.5. That's going to be Baylor and LSU. And then we have up next is going to be the Mountain West. And in the Mountain West, we have a good game coming up tomorrow, and that's going to be the Utah State game against the Nevada Wolfpack. And Nevada's getting 16 in this one. No, thank you. Utah State, I know you're not as good as you were last year and things, you're a brand new team somewhat, but I know that you guys are good enough to cover that 16.5 right there. I know you didn't look too good the first few weeks, but you played against two of the top teams in the conference. When I look at Nevada, you're not a top team in my opinion. Beating up on UNLV does not warrant you to get props on being one of the killers in the division. And you had to luck out against Wyoming to beat them as well too. So literally, this one right here calls for Utah State to get a nice cover in this game in my opinion. So I'm taking them with the plus 16.5. Then you got Colorado State. Colorado State going against Wyoming, and this is kind of a oversight. To me, Wyoming should be a 2.5 point dog because they're going on the road once again. Colorado State plays much better at home as well too, and they started off pretty well against Fresno, but things fell apart, and I think they just needed to get that game out of the way. Now they have their next game of the season, home game, and it should be good for them. So I'm taking Colorado State with the plus 3.5 in this spot. I think the money line is going to be a strong play there as well too. But the home team, get us home, Colorado State. Then we got a good rival. We got the Silicon Valley going against the Beach Boys, and that's going to be San Jose State from the north and San Diego from the south. And these guys do not like each other, and they always play some pretty damn good games as well too. San Jose has kept it very close with San Diego State over the years. That's why they're a 9.5 point dog coming into this one, because I've seen them in years of being a 35 point dog, 28 point dog to San Diego State, and they always figure out a way to show up because they know San Diego State is a interstate rival, and they are one of the better teams in the conference. So I'm going with San Jose State plus 9.5. Let's see how it shakes out. And then we have the over 58 Fresno State UNLV. That quarterback slings that pill, and I know he's going to be able to do some big things come Saturday as well too against UNLV. And I expect UNLV to get some scores in as well too. Their offense looked really good on Saturday, but you know that there's some things that they do need to work on, and then that is what practice is for. So let's see how it shakes out. I'm taking the over 58 with Fresno State and UNLV. Then we have the under 62.5 with Mexico and Hawaii. And in this one, I think what happens here is that Hawaii comes in here flat from a long plane ride, and Hawaii beats up on them, but they don't beat up on them too bad. So I'm taking the under 62.5, New Mexico, Hawaii. Let's see how it shakes out. Now we move on, and we got the Pac-12. And you know, guys know, if you've been following me for years, the Pac-12 has always been good to me in conference play. Up first, we got the Trojans going against the Sun Devils, and this one is going to be under 58.5. I feel like this is going to be somewhat of a defensive stall, you know. I expect USC to play staunch defense. I expect ASU to play staunch defense in this one as well too. Keeping this game under 58.5. I think it finishes up 24-21 because I do have ASU covering in this game as well too in my my other notes. But this is the better bet here, under 58.5. Let's see how it shakes out. And then we got Arizona going against Utah. And I like Arizona here because they're in the middle of a rebuild. Nobody really knows who they are. And usually when you don't know who Arizona is, they always tend to show up. So I'm pretty much taking Arizona on a insurance bet that they cover this game, lose by 10 or less. I'm taking Arizona plus 14. Let's see how it shakes out. Now we got the UCLA Bruins and the Colorado Buffaloes, and this is going to be a really good game as well too. And what I like here is that both these teams have a clean slate from last year after struggling throughout the season most of the year. Now they're back at it. They feel like they got some really good upperclassmen, and Chip Kelly's on the clock as well too. This is the fourth season here at UCLA. At some point, he has to step up and step it up mightily as well too. So I'm going to go ahead and take the over 55.5 UCLA Colorado. Let's see how it shakes out, and we go from there. Now we got the Stanford-Oregon game, and I think what happens here is that Stanford winds up covering because Stanford always plays Oregon really tough, especially at Oregon. And these guys have had classics over the years, and to open up the season against each other just goes to tell you something as well, too. So I love Stanford in the spot against Oregon to cover the +10. Let's see how it shakes out. Then we got Oregon State going against Washington State. This is a perfect matchup for them to start the season. So then, pretty much if they do step it up and put everything together, they'll be able to get themselves a big win to start the season. And I know they would love that as well, too. So Oregon State with the -120. Let's see how it shakes out. And then we have the Cal Bears, the California Golden Bears. And the Golden Bears actually started off pretty good last year, but they fell apart as the season progressed. And, pretty much that's the story of their lives as well, too. So what I'm going to do here is I think what happens is that Cal is going to come out and actually have a big game against Washington, a team that they've beaten at home a few times over the last few meetings that they had in Berkeley. So pretty much what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and take Cal with the -120. Let's see how it shakes out. And there it is. There it is for today's bets list. And we move forward. I actually got the pack 4 for you guys as well, too. All right. Well, it kind of went off the screen a little bit, but there it is. It's Miami of Ohio. -115. Then the other play is going to be the other play will be the money line that's going to be in the Eastern Michigan game as well too. And then we got the over 52 Buffalo, Northern Illinois, and the under 55 with Ohio and CMU. So there it is with that one. Yeah, let me fix that for y'all, man. That's lazy. Yeah, don't be lazy. There it is, Mac. Eastern Michigan. +160, Miami of Ohio -115, under 55, Ohio Central Michigan, and then the over 52 with Buffalo and Northern Illinois. You guys already know where I'm going with the other plays as well too. I put out yesterday's Mac Bets list as well, so you guys have at it. That's all I can say. And there it is, 16-1. Mac pick 4 for the night. And we could go ahead and see what you can do with that one as well, too. All right, so let's go ahead, jump into it. Park West. And this one is a awesome track. And we are going to start from race 5. Our best value is going to be a horse by the name of Barrio Forever. We're going to go ahead and link this horse with pretty much have this 137 deal, or we can box it 1367. We got the shot of the day helping Lisa D. Lisa D has the best figures in the group, and I don't know why this horse is seen as a 6-1 morning line. Hopefully the bettors overlook this horse and say that I'm not dealing with this horse today, and helping Lisa D goes ahead and wins a huge one for us today. So that's the shot of the day in race 7, and that's going to be helping Lisa D. We're going to go ahead and pair this horse with the 4, 6, and 5. You guys can also go ahead and key this 2, 4, 5, 6. So there it is, shot of the day helping Lisa D. And then at the end of the night, we got the nightcap with Charlotte the Brit, and the top horses in this group is going to be the 3, the 12, the 9, the 5, and the 4. Okay, and what we're going to do here, we can box it up 3, 4, 5, 9, 12. And this is going to be a $60 bet. Hopefully we can hit the super high 5 at the end of the day, and it hits at a price. Then we have the 50-cent late pick 4, races 5 through 8. We're going 4 deep in leg 1, 1, 3, 6, 7. In leg 2, we're going 7, 10. And in leg 3, we're all betting. And in leg 4, we're going to go ahead and single the 3, and we're going to go ahead and invest $24 in this ticket. So there it is. That's Gulfstream Park West. And man, oh man, what a show today. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in and everything like that. Tomorrow we will have ACC, the Big Ten, and the SEC tomorrow, okay, for those bets lists. So make sure to tune in for that. And then Friday, I'm going to go ahead and drop the complimentary show where we have all the bets list in there. And if I'm going to exclude the max list, though, because the MAC has already been taken care of this week. But what I might do is I might just put in the results for the MAC so people know that we did talk about the MAC this week. So there it is. We'll be back tomorrow. And tomorrow, actually, we will be dropping the NFL Bet Exchange as well, too. And today I'm going to be super busy. Clients, I'll be with you guys this afternoon. But today I'm going to be super busy filming and editing up the Breeders' Cup show that I'm trying to prepare for Friday morning and Saturday morning as well, too. So you guys be on the lookout. We got a lot of things coming this week. And thank you once again for tuning in to the Premier Sports Betting Show, the Primetime Angles with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper. And I'll be right back at you tomorrow, 9 a.m. on the IG Live. Y'all be good, and I am gone. Thank you for tuning into the Primetime Angles, the Premier Sports Betting Show, hosted by the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper. This is a PrimeWave media production, and go ahead and press that subscribe button.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a PrimeWave media production,